Hello students, how are you? I hope all of you are fine and doing well in your study. So today in this video lecture we will discuss the novel The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. The Bluest Eye is the first novel by Toni Morrison. It was published in 1970. Toni Morrison was an Afro-American novelist, essayist or editor. She was born and brought up in Ohio, a state in United States of America. And the novel was also set in 1941 in Lorain, Ohio. This was the year, some years later, of the Great Depression of 1930s. As you know, Great Depression was the biggest economic downturn in the history of industrialized world. Great Depression was related to the economic side of people. People were struggling for their survival, livelihood, and for money, their existence. It was not the scene in United States of America only. It was the plight of people all over the world. It affected almost all countries of the world. So uh, Toni Morrison was quite aware about the conditions of black poor family that were taken from the different parts of Africa to American states for slave trade. The Bluest Eye is a novel about Piccola Breedlove, an 11-year-old girl who wants to have blue eyes since her childhood, as she takes blue eyes for beauty, whiteness, and she thinks that blue eyes will give her respect in society. People will treat her in a better way. The Bluest Eye is not only a story but an awe-inspiring poem that confronts beauty itself and the consequences of beauty standards on individuals that don't meet them. Beauty is an obsession that has been present throughout history. As you also know, that people first of all impressed by someone's beauty. It's true, there is no doubt. The title is taken from the protagonist's desire to have blue eyes. Whiteness is the beauty standard that Piccola Breedlove cannot fit in with. So the narrative of the novel is divided into 4 parts, each named after, as you can see in my notes, a season: autumn, winter, spring, and summer, respectively. The story of the novel revolves around Piccola Breedlove, who lives in Ohio with her family. She has a brother also in her family. Her mother, Pauline or Polly Breedlove, was suffered from the domestic violence by her husband. Piccola's father, Charlie Breedlove, was a drunkard man and was very aggressive, and her aggression always went on his family itself. So today in this lecture we will discuss some major characters, themes, symbols. So we will take from Piccola Breedlove, as you can see in the notes. She is the protagonist of the novel, an 11-year-old black girl. You can mark black girl means she belongs to the family whose complexion is dark, and due to this darkness Piccola was treated badly in society. So she believes that she is ugly and that having blue eyes would make her beautiful. Piccola, since her childhood, develops an obsession with blue eyes, and it runs throughout her life. The second main character is Claudia McTeer, as you can see in the notes. She narrates the majority of the novel and is also a young black girl. She is the child of Piccola's foster parents and his Frida's sister. She is good friend of Piccola. Claudia McTeer is also a black girl who is a friend of Piccola Breedlove, but she is quite opposite to Piccola, as as you can see in the notes. She is the polar opposite of Piccola. Piccola develops a hatred for herself as she was ugly, black, poor. But Claudia is quite opposite to Piccola. She was confident in herself and she doesn't take beauty as a great thing in her life. She is a fighter and rebels against the black community's idealization of white beauty standard. The next major character is Charlie Breedlove. Charlie Breedlove, he is Piccola's father, and I have told you that he was a drunkard man, abusive and alcoholic. His violent and aggressive behavior reflects his troublesome upbringing. Next important character is Pauline or Polly Breedlove. She is Piccola's mother, who believes that she is ugly. She has a deformed foot and sees herself as the martyr of a terrible marriage. She finds meaning not in own family but in romantic movies and in her work for a white family. Piccola's mother Polly Breedlove wants to Fred away from her own house because she couldn't get peace there, and so she tried to involve herself in watching romantic movies because this was the only way to get rid of the problems of her life. The next, we will discuss some minor characters as Frida McTeer. She is the Claudia's 10-year-old sister. Next is Mrs. McTeer, Claudia's mother. Mr. McTeer, Claudia's father. Sammy Breedlove, Piccola's brother. China, Poland, Miss Mary. There are some three prostitutes in the novel. Now we will discuss themes of the novel. So, first of all, whiteness. Whiteness as the standard of beauty. The title of the novel, The Bluest Eye, itself depicts the importance of whiteness in the novel. All over the African countries, racism was a big issue. Racism, as you know, racism, the belief that all members of each race possess characteristics, abilities, or qualities specific to that race, especially so as to distinguish it as inferior or superior to another race or races. So, all the people in Africa were affected by this racism, and people who is very so people who are suffered from due to their dark complexion still and surely want to have beauty or fair complexion so that he or she may get respect in society. So this is the case with Piccola Breedlove. She wants to have blue eyes so that she can get respect in society. The second major theme is the poverty. As I have told you, the novel was set in 1941. It was the time of Second World War and the aftermath of the Great Depression. So, the black families in Ohio states were struggling to have their livelihood, to get money, to save their culture, to save themselves actually. So poverty plays a big role in Piccola Breedlove's family also, Piccola Breedlove's life also, because not only her dark complexion but her poverty also. So poverty is also the biggest reason in her life miseries of her life. She couldn't get the due respect from her own family because her mother was also engaged to earn money. She couldn't give her children the love a mother can give. The next important theme is the racism. I have told you what is racism. Racism is the belief that the members of a particular race have some specific characteristics, qualities. Next, we will discuss some symbols as blue eyes. To Piccola, blue eyes symbolizes beauty, happiness, and a better life. The novel is based on the story of blue eyes, how to get blue eyes, and what blue eyes can play a role in Piccola's life. So, blue eyes symbolizes beauty, whiteness, happiness for Piccola. The next is the house. House symbolizes the emotional situations and values of the characters. Everyone know that we are emotionally attached to our house, and so Piccola is. Piccola's house is dark, miserable, because she belongs to a slave family, so she doesn't have a good house. And in the starting, the home of Dick and Jane. Dick and Jane's family is presented as a contrast with Piccola. They have their own good house, so Piccola wants also to have a house like Dick and Jane. Next is the marigolds. Marigolds, flower. Marigold is a flower. So Claudia and Frida believe that if the marigolds they have planted grow, then Piccola's baby will be all right. Generally, marigold represent the constant renewal of nature. Marigold represents the renewal of nature. Renewal means the cycle of nature, birth, death, cycle. So, marigold also symbolizes the renewal in the sense of Piccola's baby. So, today we have discussed some major characters, themes, symbols of the novel The Bluest Eye. In the next video lecture, we will take some title or some important questions for your exams. So if you have some queries, you can write down in comment box. In the next lecture, I will try to solve the problems. So be happy to study. Bye bye.